In last lecture, we have seen what is vendor, how the vendor selection process runs in our daily SCP use, what is the difference between the vendor master data in ECC as well as in SCP S4 HANA. Now we'll start in this lecture the configuration activities related with the vendor master data. Firstly, we'll cover all the steps which are mandatory in both ECC as well as S4 HANA. So the configuration activity starts with the defined vendor account group. To create the vendor account group, we have the path in SAP. Go to SPRO, then go to SAP reference IMG. In SAP reference IMG, you need to go to the financial accounting. In financial accounting, you can go to the account receivable and account payable node. After that, you will go to the vendor account as we are like configuring the vendor related part. Then you will go to the master data, then click on the preparation for creating the vendor master data. So first is defined account group with screen layout. So as we already seen the material master data where material type was acting as a group there against which we'll set the number range. Either the number range will be external or internal, how the number will come, right? So same way vendor account group will act here in the vendor master data. So while we creating the vendor account group, it will act or control or determines like number range, how the number will be assigned, okay, which type of vendor master data will be there, either it is domestic or export kind of group, vendor related group, or it is a one time vendor account group. So these all things will be controlled by the or the field status, which fields you want to show on the vendor master data or which fields you want to suppress or hide or make it optional. So all these things will be covered or controlled by the vendor account group. Once you come on this screen, you just need to click on the new entries. Provide any account group meaningful name. For example, I am providing here STXZ. For example, I am creating this accounting group for the domestic related where vendors. Okay, domestic vendors. Provide some meaningful name. For example, I am providing domestic vendor India. Okay, then once you provided the accounting group name and then some description to that group, you can check the field status. As we know that we have to fill general data, company code data, which is nothing but accounting data and purchasing data to create the vendor master. So in this all things, if you double click on it, you will see different group, for example address group, and here different fields are there. So whichever fields you want to suppress, make it as a required entry or optional entry, or just you want to display, that you can do it here as per your business requirement in different field status. For example general data or company code data, if you want anything to be required, for example reconciliation account, if you want to make this entry as a required entry, then you can do it and save it. Okay, or else you can use the standard setting also. Okay, so these all things will be, for example field status, number range, these all things will be covered or controlled by the vendor account group. One more concept is there, which is one time account. So if you are dealing with the vendors one time only to purchase something from the vendor, but it is a one time activity only, later on you will not going to purchase anything from the same vendor, then in such cases you can create another account group by taking this one time account, so that you did not you will not update more master data or vendor master data or each and every field in the vendor master data. You will not update in that case because that vendor is one time only. So in such cases during the transaction like PO creation, that in that transaction only you can update whichever required fields are there. Okay, so that is nothing but the one time vendor. So firstly we'll see the normal vendor account group for the domestic one. Similarly, as per business requirement, you can create for export, or you can create different as per the requirement. You can create the group. For example, in material master we created different material type or standard different material types are available, like raw material ROH is there, for semi finish halb is there. So same way as per your business requirement, you can create different vendor account group. For practice purpose, I am creating first as a domestic vendor account group. Once all things done, you can just simply click on the save, and you can save the configuration steps in your respective TR. Okay. So this vendor account group has been created. If you don't want to go with the path, you have already the T code, standard T code. With this, you can create a vendor account group. So for domestic purpose, I have created this vendor account group STXZ. In the next lecture, we'll see what is one-time vendor account group and how we can create it. Okay.